What's up, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We got some meme coin millionaires up in this beach. Talking about that today. Talking about AMC, GameStop, of course, the rally, or should I say the lack thereof on this one, and what to be expecting if you are chasing some of those things. Do not FOMO inside of the green candles, as they always say. Bitcoin putting up a new local top at 66,000 at this point in time. A pretty massive rally as of after the CPI data. As a matter of fact, Bitcoin actually did a pretty massive rally on that one for sure. And of course, we're going to be checking out if the PulseChain bottom is in. So boys and girls, strap in. Remember, folks, it is Wednesday, my dude. So let's hit you with the little toad.
It is Wednesday, my dude. Dudes.
It is Wednesday, my dudes. Absolutely. There was a fun little news article I was perusing through on the crypto news sites, and it was talking about this particular individual who actually came through and managed to get a massive $48 million, $46 million. Turned $3,000 into $46 million, folks. My God, isn't that what we all want? Now, again, you have to understand, very few people capture something like this. Even fewer people have the actual fortitude to hold from 3,000 to 46 million. We're going to be trying to test this out today, or be talking about this today. So it's one of the tales of the crypto investors turning a few dollars into millions. Again, this tale is not new. It's been happening ever since crypto's been around. It's just a matter of, will you be the one participating in it at this point in time, or will someone else end up being that particular one? Give me 1 second here. As a matter of fact, let me get something adjusted on my end. Cool. All right, cool. And where to go? All right, cool. So this happens to very few people, folks. You have to understand, everyone wants this to be them. Everyone wants their dollars that they're investing in the new meme coin to be doing something like this. And this particular individual managed to turn $3,000 into $46 million in the space of 1 year. And holy effing shit, that is a crazy return. This is a post on Twitter where the on-chain data tracking platform Look On-Chain revealed exactly how this crypto trader turned the $3,000 investment into tens of millions of dollars. According to the tracker, you can see they actually had roughly around $3,000 worth of Pepe on April 15, 2023, which is essentially when the coin launched. So this either was an insider or someone who is a player of meme coins in particular. The trader received 4.9 trillion tokens in return for the $3,000 in the same year. This Pepe would go on to a legendary rally, right? Everyone remember the whole Pepe rally? Just recently, Pepe's coming back on board, especially with the GameStop AMC hype again. This particular individual this particular token went from under a $1 million market cap to over a $1 billion market cap after securing listings from major crypto exchanges such as Binance and others like that. So you have to understand, at that time, whenever it managed to go from 1 million to 1 billion, this trader actually had a stash of $10 million. Again, turned $3,000 into $10 million. However, this is where most people would absolutely screw things up. And again, most wouldn't even make it to the $1 million mark, because they're going to see it go from 3,000 to 300,000 to 3 million. Okay, let's just kind of go there. But let's just say it went from 3,000 to 300,000. You did good, my friend. You did absolutely good. You crushed the game. This is where most people are going to just sell their entire stack and say, I did really good. Got 100x on a meme coin. I'm out. This particular individual did not. However, they continued to hold. You can see they did, in fact, sell some. May of 2024, recently, Pepe just hit new all-time highs again. This is when the meme coins were going crazy. When GameStop came back, Roaring Kitty came back, you're going to be seeing things like Nokia, I'm sure. Bed Bath & Beyond coming back. what did I just do? What did I just click on? What in the heck did I just click on? 1 second, y'all. I don't even know how I managed to get out of that article. That was pretty darn crazy. Let me see if we can get this done again. All right, cool. I'm not even sure what button I clicked on that one, so maybe I got to figure out that. But anyways, long story short, this particular individual, again, held it and actually kept this and moved the trader's holding to over $40 million at this point in time. This just reached an all-time high for Pepe over the last week, and many people actually saw this. And you can see this particular individual isn't a dummy, right? They understand, take profits, folks. There's definitely a right way of taking profits, and this person in particular is taking profits the right way. They recently sold 255 billion tokens for a total of $2.3 million. And so far, that trader has roughly sold around $1.4 trillion out of their original 4.3, leaving them, or 4.8, leaving them roughly around 3.5 trillion tokens remaining, still worth a value of $38 million. That's a 15,000x, folks. That is an absolute insane time. Their total realized and unrealized profit from the single trade now sits at $46 million at the time of this. And given the time, people are wondering, is this a insider? This is happening with a lot of tokens that end up getting launched. You got to understand, though, this person had taken the time and the sheer grit to just hold their freaking tokens. Many people would not, in fact, hold their tokens. And this play right here for the look on chain actually comes through and says the same thing. They earned $46 million in Pepe with only $3,000. Gosh dang, with a super big winner selling $2.3 million in profits. That's a crazy story. Again, I would love that to be every single person who goes out and throws any money at meme coins. Most of them are trash. So just a heads up, if you're wanting to partake in some of this as well, I just want to share that because wow, that is a crazy freaking thing that that ended up happening with that particular individual. So congrats, dude. $3,000 to $40 million in the span of 1 year. That was absolutely insanity right there. Meme coins coming through clutch on that one for them for sure. Now, recently I'd been saying that we'd be probably going down a little bit further with Bitcoin. This is something that I've been harping on for a little bit of time, probably really ever since the beginning, if not middle of April. I'd been kind of saying that Bitcoin, man, I'm surprised we haven't seen a 30% dip yet at this point in time in Bitcoin, but if it wants to rally, so be it. Let it rally at this point in time. And it had a massive candle wick yesterday as well, rallying roughly around 7.6%, which in terms of Bitcoin is pretty damn big. It went from 61,000 to well over $66,480 at the high at this point in time. Bitcoin wants to move, man. It definitely wants to move at this point in time. It's just a matter of will it, right? Can it actually sustain this? Now, one thing I'm seeing, we have met one of the previous levels of resistance that you can see drawn on the chart right now. These have been met with resistance and support on a couple of different occasions at this point. So it's just a matter of, will we get back up there again? And will we push through this level of support, or should I say level of resistance? Or do we just break on straight through, bounce off it as support, and then continue to rally higher? That's always what you want to be paying attention to if you are actually going to be trading the market. Again, I'm not looking at trading at this point in time. If you are going through and doing that, best of luck to you. I'm a person who likes to buy an asset and hold the asset for quite some time, and I'm okay with that because, again, I've had a long-term vision mindset on these tokens, which is why I have such a tough time with meme coins in reality, right? Meme coins can come through and get you rich as heck real quick. Otherwise, you just end up spending a whole lot of money and wasting your time chasing the green dragon that everyone is chasing right now. Should I say chasing the purple dragon? Everyone's chasing it right now. They want to get the fastest money they can possibly get as quick as they possibly can and with as little money as they can possibly invest. That's always one of the goals that you want to be looking for. However, at this point in time, one of the best strategies that you can do for yourself is simply to buy and hold a token long term. This is going to give you most likely the best chances of success. Yes, that particular individual who did the meme coin trading just moments ago absolutely crushed it, and congratulations to them for making life-changing money. If Pepe continues to rally as it has been, then that is even better for that particular individual. It's just one of those things that most meme coins, in fact, 99% of meme coins that get launched don't have any sustainable value, usually after a month. At that point in time, whatever has happened, and then it kind of goes through and the next meme coin is launched, and then it's just chasing the new shiny object, which is why that is such a dangerous game to be playing. I imagine with someone like that, they probably had some money. They got to turn a little bit of money into a lot of money. Otherwise, most people would end up selling it a lot earlier than that, which is where most people wouldn't even have made it to, we'll say, that $1 million mark. Or what gets tricky is you'll have people that do this exact same situation, turn $3,000 into $40 million, and they say, I'm not taking profit until I reach $100 million. And that's just silly, y'all. That is an absolutely silly thing to do. Do not put those limits on yourself. Make sure if you turn a little bit of money into a lot of money, you better be taking profits and taking care of yourself. Put some money in the bank, feed your fam, take care of your fam, maybe pay off some debts, maybe pay off some loans, maybe pay off that kind of stuff for other family members, such as your parents, for example. That is one of my dream goals for myself, is to make it in the crypto world and make it nice and juicy in the crypto world, and then pay off my mom's debt. My mom raised me as a single mother with me and my sister, and she ended up kind of doing everything she could to make sure we always had clothes on our back, food on the table, working 2 jobs while earning a PhD, and I just can't even thank her enough. So thank you, Mom, for real. I do wish to pay her back by paying off that PhD debt at this point in time. I asked her if the Biden student loan debt had canceled it, and unfortunately it has not. So I would love at this point in time to go about making sure that my mom's taken care of come this bull run. That is one of the goals that I have. And at the end of the day, folks, you got to understand what your why is in this game, because the market is crazy volatile. You can see it from the Bitcoin chart alone. It goes from literally all the way up here back in 2021, just a couple years later, or should I say even just a year later, right? Year and a half later, all the way back down to 15, all the way back up again within the span of a couple of years. This happens quite frequently in crypto. And so I wanted to remind everyone that, again, the ride is going to be an absolutely volatile ride for sure, especially if you're getting into altcoins in particular, such as the PulseChain ecosystem, right? Or if you're just messing around with any other altcoins that really aren't the blue chips, right? The Bitcoin and the Ethereums, they are going to come with their own volatility, but they aren't going to be as crazy. Whereas you can see many other cryptos are going to experience 60, 70, 80, even 90% dips are in the game. And then you can see massive returns from it as well, whether it be a 10x, 100x, or 1000x in the span of the next few months to year, right? And so keep that in mind. It's one of those things that you have to understand what you're doing it for, why you're doing it in the first place. Why do you have your hex staked out 15 years? What was the benefit of it? And again, just kind of one of those easy little things. The dog's just kind of having an absolute blast right here. Anyways, I just heard some noise going on in the background. I had to kind of show you all the cutie over there. So Bitcoin currently sitting at $66,146. Again, it has bounced outside of our trend line right now. We would like to see some more areas above, not just the one daily candle, because we've seen these massive daily candles before in the past, and then usually ends up retracing back down. So what I'm paying attention to in the next few days to see what the market's going to really want to do is, are we going to end up coming back, testing the 67,272 line, bouncing off this trend line that we've had drawn out of 63,000, and then bouncing off it as support? Or do we bounce back in here into this little trend line and play around within this little descending wedge triangle that we've had drawn out again really since the beginning of April? So keeping all this in mind, just things I'm paying attention to, folks. The Impulse MACD is kind of sitting sideways right now, meaning it doesn't really recognize the most recent rally in terms of like a bullish momentum. Looking over on the overall chart right now, we do see a pretty good trend line starting to form right now. that's a pretty steep trend line. I wouldn't necessarily just keep it at that level. Give me 1 second, y'all. And so we can see that is a pretty decent rally or a pretty decent trend line. I don't know if it's going to necessarily maintain and support that trend line the entire time. It's just one of those things that I am paying attention to when looking at this particular chart right here, right now. What else do we got? We got Ethereum doing this thing, and I'll leave those two on just to kind of see how it is in the next few days as we continue to be looking at these charts. Once again, Ethereum has broken through one of its resistance levels that we had drawn out, which is roughly that 2985 number that we had drawn out. At this point in time, it has broken through. So it's just a matter of, will it maintain this level? Will it bounce back and use it as a support, which is ideally what you want to see when looking at these charts. This is a massive little move to that side that you can actually see make things happen as well. So keeping all that in mind, folks, these are items that I'm going to be paying attention to really over the next few days, if not coming weeks. Ideally, I can see even a little rally and bounce up into this range, which would be 3,200, and a bounce back down. That would be well within reason, as we've met many resistance levels at that 3,200, along with it meeting the 50 EMA mark on that one right there. That's a 50 EMA right there. And then you got the 200 down here. So these are all just things I'm paying attention to. Again, ideally, you don't want to see these two cross. So you wouldn't want to see the 50 come back down and then cross in, below the 200 at that point. That's usually called the death cross at that point in time. It usually means there's more bearish activity coming. So ideally, you would just want to see that 50 EMA start crushing back up again. That would be that rally sign that we're kind of moving toward higher prices. Otherwise, this is a nice rally, but don't get sucked in. If you have plans, make sure you set your plans in place. If you have a DCA strategy, keep the DCA strategy going with the 5 P's of proper preparation, preventing, or performance. Hello to some beautiful people who are here right now. Again, guys, it's Wednesday. We're just here having fun. We're chilling. We're having fun. And it's a nice, enjoyable afternoon, my guys. By the way, I went to go see that new movie, Civil War. Man, I'm going to give that one 2 thumbs down, my boys. It had such potential, too. I don't know if y'all have seen it. If you have, let me know what you thought about it in the comments. Maybe you could change my mind on it type deal. But, I mean, they just hit the mark on that for sure. So I don't want to give away too many spoilers on that one. But if you were to be looking to be watching that movie for any reason or going to the theaters and watching it, I would possibly save your money or go watch a different movie instead. So just a little fun fact on that. We got Prospector in the house. What's up, my friend? Jason Smith, Crypto Jake in the house. What's up? Yep, we got the Toad for sure. Finally caught the front half of the show, Crypto Bendu. Absolutely catching you live. What's up, Drix? David Gomez in the house. Hit the like button, everyone. Hit the subscribe if you're here, if you're enjoying the channel. Much love and much appreciation to everyone as well. We got Marcus in the house with us too, saying, what's up, man? Yeah, if y'all got some questions, feel free to just drop them in the chat. I try to get back to the comments as well when I can. So if you feel free to, if you missed the replay, or if you're part of the replay gang, drop a little comment down below, right? Let me know what your questions are. I almost saw that one, saw Planet of the Apes. Yeah, dude. I feel like we should have gone to see Planet of the Apes. So it was just timing wise. The Civil War movie just worked better for our schedule today. So my wife and I like to go on movie date nights. And so that one just hit a little bit better with the schedule. So we went to go check it out. Hindsight being 2020, would definitely rather have gone to see Planet of the Apes. So I guess it is what it is, right? No hard feelings toward the movie, but for an A24 production, man, gosh, dude, they really just didn't quite get it on that one for sure. Just my opinion, though, y'all. Maybe y'all will just absolutely love it, but I would wait until that one comes on to the streaming services, kind of like Madam Web. Anyways, this isn't a movie review today, and maybe it will be. Maybe we just switch this over to a movie review channel, right? Have some fun with all this happening as well. checking out some prices over on PulseChain real quick. Well, you know what, guys? Let's hit you with a little Wednesday, folks, because, guys, it is Wednesday, my dudes, if you don't know already. So let's hit you.
My dudes, Wednesday, my dudes. It is Wednesday, my dudes. 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 Wednesday, my dudes. It is Wednesday, my dudes.
It is Wednesday, my dudes. It is Wednesday, my dudes. It is Wednesday, my dudes. All right, bet. Anyways, PulseChain currently sitting at 40606. PulseX sitting at 40259. Incentive token sitting at that $3.22 level. Hex over here 2 cents or 20905, and Hex over on Ethereum 2019. So currently with that ratio still maintaining the 1 to 4.7 ratio right now. It's always things to be paying attention to, but can you imagine PulseChain at one point in time hitting $2 on Hex over on PulseChain and then hitting, what would that be, 40 cents over on Ethereum if it maintains a 1 to 5 ratio? Either way, that's a lot of money to be made, boys and guys, especially if you can buy yourself a million Pulse right now for $1,900. By the time it reaches 40 cents, that would be $400,000. Fun. All right. Again, PulseChain sitting, this is on the weekly right here, pulling up the daily. We are still pulling a little higher high, higher low situation. We'd love to continue to see this keep on going. We are still playing well within the reason and rally we've kind of had drawn out on this chart ever since, for some time now, right? So these are the next levels that I would want to be breaking out to get really starting to get bullish over here. Again, start bouncing above the 4089 region would start getting pretty bullish for me. However, first we have to pass the 40668. Then we get a little bounce off as a support. Bounce up here into the 4081 at this point in time. Bounce off as support. And then let the rally ensue at that point in time. That's really what I'm kind of waiting for on that one for the PulseChain ecosystem. Again, it would look something like this if you were to be drawing it out with an Elliott wave situation. So you get the little first impulse wave right here, which will bring us right there, bring us back. Second one, a little bit higher over here, just to make it simple, bring it back down, and then a fifth wave going on forward. So that's kind of what I'm looking for when I'm looking for the breakout at this point in time. Again, I haven't quite seen the full-on momentum rally just yet, so keep in mind, this is things I am sharing to keep y'all in the loop. PulseX, a little price check over here on PulseX as well. PulseX currently sitting at 4028 or 2585. Once again, bouncing off that level of support that we've had drawn out of 402455. It does seem at this point in time we are really wanting to use these as a final price level for the most recent local bottom before the next rally on upwards as well. So whenever I just do a quick little fib retracement over here between these prices of where we're currently at, let me actually hide this one for a sec. From where we're currently at to the local low at this point in time, or should I say local high to local low, places that I'm paying attention to for us to really start making going forward be 403884, bouncing us back up to the 618 retracement level, which is that 40565. This is when things start getting bullish right here, y'all. This is when you start seeing items where you can typically expect some resistance, normal 618 retracement on a resistance level, bouncing through, getting past the 786, and then going through back up to the sack right there, folks. That is what I'm paying attention to right now. We are setting a beautiful little trend line at this point in time in terms of what we got going on recently. Would love to see this continue. This is on the weekly right now, mind you, so keep that in mind when checking this out. Looking at the daily, we've kind of already broken out of the couple of patterns that we've had drawn out. I had these drawn out just to keep it simple to see what would end up happening. That was on the 15-minute. This is also on the 15-minute on a larger scale, but we are going to, let's just kind of delete that one real fast, pull up a different one real quick and see if we can make a different setup here. Here we go. No, it's not gonna give me one click right there. What? Uno momento. There we go. See if we can get a little triangle going real quick and see if we can get some things formed up real fast. Man, it doesn't really want to give me a full triangle on here. Let's just kind of do it from not necessarily the candle wicks, but let's do it from... Okay, cool. From body to body at this point in time, instead of removing the wicks at this point. So this is where I'm going to see, yeah, plenty of resistance already right here. The 40265 level, which again, not too far off right now. I can see us definitely bouncing in here for this point in time, just to kind of see what we got going on in terms of recently. And yeah, we'll take a little look at this in the near future as well. So keeping all this in mind. Incentive token doing a pretty good rally, almost up 11% in the last 24 hours at this point in time. Once again, kind of getting rid of some of these other drawings that we had right here. Don't click on the daily. And let me just move that to the left side. Cool. All right, cool. So up in the last 24 hours, really, there's some action happening. We have finally wanting to break out of this downward trend line that we have been on all the way back since beginning of March. So keep that in mind. We are breaking out of this trend line. That's not saying that the rally's happening right now, but folks, that is what you start seeing when you start getting some new action happening. These are these indicators that you want to be paying attention to when setting this stuff up. So I'm just kind of drawing out some basic trend lines real fast, see if we can get anything kind of formed at this point. But we are bouncing above the trend line that we had drawn out all the way back here as of the beginning of March over here on that chart. Once again, we would love to see us bounce off the levels that we're currently at right now. Basically do this, bounce off if you really wanted to, bounce off as support, and then get us back above the $3.50 region. Bounce up, bounce off as support, and then keep that rally going forward at that point in time. So these are items that I'm going to be checking and letting y'all know as well overall in the next, we'll say a couple of days. So I hope as always y'all subscribe to the channel. That way y'all can get caught up in the information as well with all of this data. So that if you wanted to know what's going on in the ecosystem, this is that little daily dose of the crypto news at that point in time. What else we got going on in crypto world, folks? We got, again, Bitcoin doing a nice little rally up above 65,000. Why is it up today? Over the last 24 hours, it increased nearly 5%. Broke through to 65,000 again with a macroeconomic factor. The CPI came through. And we can, I guess, talk about the CPI for a second over here. So we got the inflation that actually fell slightly in April, as easing price pressures for groceries and other areas of consumer balance sheets were partially offset by higher gasoline prices and stubbornly high housing costs. So you can actually see a full little breakdown over here where you can see some higher inflation happening. Juices and drinks are mad crazy right here overall on that one in terms of the over year price changes, which is pretty damn crazy. You can see other areas to be seen: video disc, other media, motor vehicle insurance, home insurance as well is also going up quite a bit. I think they were expecting to say that like right now they're like the normal average house where you can expect some repairs to happen was usually around like $8,000 a year. Now it's up closer to around the $16,000 mark for the year if you own a house. So buying a house right now is definitely one of the crazier times, especially with the rates as they are right now. The April inflation reading is down significantly from 9.1 pandemic era peak in 2022, which was the highest level since 1981. However, it remains above policymakers' long-term target around 2%. I think they're going to get rid of this 2% eventually one day. They're just going to stop saying it, but until they do, it is what it is. You can see there has been some inflationary fight as well. This inflation trend line will determine how soon Federal Reserve officials start throttling back interest rates, which influence borrowing costs. Let me take a little look real fast because obviously we did not get any sort of rate decrease, which we already know. But I want to see what the probabilities are saying right now for like a rate decrease come, I don't know, June or something like that, just to take a little gander real quick over here. Probabilities, yeah, it doesn't look like anything's crazy. Basically 97% chance that we remain the same come June, as the basically not looking at lowering. Even by July, basically a 67% chance that we remain the same. Really, the first rate cut that has a chance of seeing it is by September. And folks, I'll be real with you. I don't think they're going to get the data they're looking for on either of these 2 months. And again, we aren't really getting too many data points at this point, really until like after June 12th. So we aren't getting anything here for sure. And yeah, I mean, I don't see September happening, folks. If we do see one increase or one decrease, I guess, should I say, for the year, it would be probably closer to the November timeframe. Even December's at a 39% chance to have 2 rate decreases. So basically, they're saying a rate decrease here and another rate decrease here. I just don't see that happening. I see 1 rate decrease this year, but we shall see, right? Again, this is just one of those Fed watch tools of how things have been looking and the chances that we're going to be cutting rates. Is they're saying September? I just don't think that is the case. So, keeping all that in mind, these are just letting you know what we got going on. Gwei is still at 4 Gwei, by the way, if I'm not mistaken. So Ethereum's doing some work right here to maintain cheap Gwei. I mean, 6 Gwei, that's freaking cheap, guys. Cheap, cheap, cheap. All right, what else we got in the news? Give me 1 second. Here we go. What else we got over here on the news? US DOJ arrests brothers for stealing $25 million crypto in 12 seconds. Damn. Yeah, they set something up like an MEV bot, I believe is what it was. The US DOJ has arrested 2 brothers for theft of $25 million. Anton and James Pepper Bueno have been arrested for allegedly stealing millions in cryptocurrency via the Ethereum blockchain in just 12 seconds. The brothers allegedly used the MEV exploit, which just means that basically they get to front run any transactions that happen on the Ethereum network, so that way they get a better price on something. They sell it over here to that particular individual for less tokens. So if you're coming in and buying, we'll say $1,000 worth of Ethereum, for example, they're going to come in here and actually get a little bit of it up front and then give you, we'll say 980 tokens. So they're going to scrape up, we'll say $20 or something at that point in time. Obviously, they did a hell of a lot more than that if they did millions in just 12 seconds. That's basically like a block. So I'm very kind of read this as well. They've been charged with conspiracy to commit wire fraud and money laundering. The brothers, who study computer science and mathematics at one of the most prestigious universities in the world, allegedly use their specialized skills and education to tamper with and manipulate protocols relied upon by millions of Ethereum users across the globe. The U.S. attorney for the Southern District of New York, it's all in New York, isn't it, said in a statement, as noted, the IRS CI special agent in charge, Thomas, I don't even know, Faturoso, the brothers allegedly committed a first of its kind manipulation of the blockchain Ethereum deception. Woo. They gained access to transactions, which is exactly what I was talking about, altering the movement of electronic currency and ultimately assets. Regardless of its complexity of the case, we continue to lead the effort in financial criminal investigations. Wow. Wow. Anything else crazy here? Will I have access to internal records, premises? Wow. Okay. Pretty damn crazy stuff there, right? Pretty damn crazy stuff on that one. So was it worth it? Nope. They probably thought they can get away with it, though, to be fair, because many people do. They get away with a whole bunch of stuff all the time, and it became the fact of the amount of money is my guess. If they just probably stole like 400,000 or $1 million, they probably would have just gotten let off or whatever the case may be, which is kind of crazy, right? And eventually, I'm sure they're all going to get caught, but at this point in time, they just don't have the manpower to be doing that kind of stuff. Safe co-founder, Ethereum account abstraction to catalyze crypto mass adoption. World Coin Foundation, I don't care about them. Binance launches spot copy trading, allows users to receive 10% of the trader's profits. Here we go. Sun Finance exploited for $20 million. Offers hacker reward for returning funds. Please return our money, please. We'll let you keep 2 million of it. Just give us the other 18, please. Oh shit, dude, crazy. Bitcoin can still hit 75,000 in consolidation. Galaxy Novogratz says. Wow. Wow. Okay. So all crazy stuff there. ARK ETF records $133 million in inflow as BTCs surge. That's quite a bit. Let me close out some of this real fast. Close out that, that. What else we got over here on the news? Humanity Protocol achieves unicorn status after funding round. I don't even know what does unicorn status mean. North Korea laundered $147 million in crypto stolen from HTX. Oh my gosh. Guys, crypto, the scams are out there like crazy, man. There's plenty of people who are here to steal your money and they could care less about you. BitGate wallet unveils roadmap for on-chain layer. Dude, and they're going to get sued by the SEC. It's not even like hard to see anymore right now. It's you're creating a wallet. Oh, yeah, you're probably gonna get sued, right? So, like, are we gonna get anything for a wallet on the PulseChain ecosystem? Probably not, especially with the lawsuit already happening right now against RH, right? Which is like another little thing. So it's a roadmap that we don't get. It's a So I don't think there's gonna be any sacrifice for that, which I guess is a good thing, right? But at this point in time, I just don't see a wallet getting created, especially with Consensus being sued and many other people being sued as well. What else do we have up here? What does this say? I just saw squid. I stopped for a second. I just went too quick. Sub-squid teams team up with Google BigQuery to redefine blockchain data handling. Cool. Gamepads finally launches and ushers in new era. DOJ charges two people. Canada's crypto king and associate arrested, charged with fraud. Yeah, they're out to get people, y'all. They are out to get people right now. Beware of hell money. Here's how a Hong Kong crypto exchange swindled a customer off HK of $1 million. Wow. Okay, cool. Well, I mean, that's going to basically just be the bare news over here. MIT educated brothers. Oh, so there you go. They're dropping the actual, they're dropping the organization. So they were MIT. Cool. Didn't know where they were from. It was a prestigious place before, but now you know it's MIT. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Who was that said that? CBS News. Thank you for telling us. First U.S. presidential debate planned for June 27th. Will crypto be on the agenda? How crazy is it that crypto's in politics now? It's not crazy, don't get me wrong, but like now it's like a front runner on like it could be a single issue vote decision for a lot of individuals, myself included, if I was to go in and vote, because I don't really care about all the other politics that are out there. But if you're against crypto and you're with the people who are basically trying to stop innovation from happening, you can go yourself, right? Bitcoin at 66,000 as soft inflation data sparks crypto rally. Do we have anything else? Brothers accused. We already saw that. NASDAQ, after pivoting crypto ambitions to T-bills, sees staffers exit amid delays. What does the DOJ's first MEV lawsuit mean for Ethereum? I am very curious as to see what this says, because there are many people who run MEV bots out there. So many people run MEV bots, which is why you want to use different RPCs and that kind of stuff. And you can do that kind of stuff by going to chainlist.org, which I ended up sharing the other day. Oh, here's a question real fast. Let me get to the question section real quick. Give me 1 second. We got Crypto Bendu asking ATX question about PulseX. There's always a chance for short-term pumps, but do you expect we only move once Sack Daddy RH doubles his ETH positions and rotates into chain? Do you think late 25 or what? Yeah, I mean, great questions as always. You know, I always appreciate these kind of things, and I don't think we necessarily need the I don't think you need the RH pump to be a thing, but you do need some whales to step up. You know what I mean? You need someone to come in and really just start making new floors at this point in time. And I think at this point in time, all of the wallets are so closely watched, unfortunately, in our ecosystem, that as soon as any of the wallets that happen to end up being a part of it, maybe the SAC wallets or OA wallets or whatever you want to call them, start pumping the tokens up, all of a sudden everyone's like, holy shit, we have action. That's basically like a sell signal. We've seen it happen so many times. So you need another whale to come in and just be like, I don't know who this individual is. We've seen it happen with the Alex whale, which you want to call him. Seen it happen with other individuals and other whales. But at this point in time, I think the market's just going to do what it does, which is basically 6 months after the Bitcoin halving, the market will just start going crazy. So we got April was the Bitcoin halving. You got May, June, July, August, September, October. So by October, November, you just start seeing everything start pumping and you're like, what is happening? I don't get it. And that's usually that crypto rally. And that usually lasts for 6 months, right? 6 to 12 months. It usually is not long, folks. So you can wait 3 years for this rally to happen in crypto. And then all of a sudden it's over in the span of a couple of months. So make sure that you have all of that stuff all the time. Yeah. I texted the wrong person. Too funny. Lol. Getting the bags ready for sure. That is 100% what you should be doing right now. Right now is the time to be stacking, accumulating, setting the bags up in a position so that way when prices reach any number higher than they are right now, you are making a lot of money at that point in time. That is how you should be setting things up. If you've bought prices when they were much higher and you can buy them when they were much lower right now at these levels, you can lower your average as well. So instead of having to get just a 2x on your money, you can lower your average so you can get a 10x, a 20x, a 50x, or even 100 or 1000x, depending upon how crazy you can really get going with it. So I do anticipate that, you know, we're looking toward the end of the year. I've said this already in the beginning at this point in time. Yeah, that's right. Get those bags ready. Yeah, for sure. I do anticipate that we're going to be kind of doing a little like like action sideways. We may get a little 3x. We might get a 3x pump, which I've said in the past. And if we get a 3x pump, I think that's still within reason of kind of the sideways action for what I discussed. We've seen 3x pumps already and a 60-70% dip follow after. So if we end up doing that same thing, going on a little roller coaster ride again, I can definitely see that happening. And then toward the end of the year, if not beginning of next year, things start just taking off all of a sudden. And then you start wondering, what in the F is going on? Why are we pumping? What's happening? What's the news? Man, I sold. I didn't get my bags. I didn't do this. I didn't do that. I just had another paycheck come in. And you start like having the panic FOMO as well. Speaking of, kind of what happens over here with like GameStop over here, for example. So let's just kind of like pull that chart up. And this is going to be one of those items that you can see as well. GameStop is one of those tokens that we've been discussing just recently because they've been going on in a little bit of an absolute tear. Once again, if you can actually just pull up on a 15-minute chart, you can see it went from anywhere between $10 on up to $64. There were still halts in between. I think it was halted between AMC and GameStop over 40 times, if I'm not mistaken, between those two tokens alone. But it was a massive pump that went up. And what do people start doing when they see this pump? They FOMO in, man. They just like, dude, I've seen this already. If you pull up like back to the monthly chart over here, you get these little individuals, or you get the individuals who say, man, I was back when it was about, you know, $100. I was going in when it was going crazier. You get massive little rallies. Look at this green candle alone, right? People FOMO into these green candles, y'all. It's just the way the market is, unfortunately, and you can't stop them. That's just what they do. Same thing for AMC, but one thing you can do is control your emotions. So when you start seeing these candles like this, you say, all right, man, I'm just going to wait for that dip. I'm just going to wait for the dip. You don't have to get crazy with it, but you just say, I'm just going to wait for the dip, because you can expect this usually, especially with meme coins, meme stocks in this situation, a 50, 60, 70% dip to follow, which is wild to say. But that's one of those, have a plan in place. Cool. 40% dip is where you want to start buying in. Do that instead. But like what happens so often is people buy here and they buy here and then the prices dip. And then they're like, oh my gosh. And then they don't buy anything here because they're like, oh man, I don't know if it's going to do anything. And then it just rallies back up again. And you're like, oh man, we're so back on. I'm back in. Then you buy up here and you're like, what are you doing, bro? What are you doing? Same thing's going to happen with like all of the meme stocks. I think Bed Bath & Beyond, Nokia, AMC, GameStop, they all had that rally around the same time. That was when you had the whole Dogecoin happening as well. So it's going to have its own rally. But look at this. Again, you saw a 60% dip on this stock in the span of a day. If you're going to be buying, I'm not saying that you should be doing that at this point, but usually you want to wait for 60-70% dips. I understand it can just absolutely take off, and so be it if it does, but what you don't want to do is buy into the hype. Oh my God, green candle. Oh my God, green candle. Oh my gosh, I'm going in, man. I'm putting in my life savings, YOLO. And then you see a 60% dip and you're like, oh, what have I done? I've made a terrible choice. And you sell, or you get out, or you exit, and then it just rallies back up. And you're like, oh my gosh, why did I sell? Guys, the emotional roller coaster is real. Like, you see this stuff with crypto, but people and not in crypto get to experience that with meme stocks whenever they start doing this action as well. So it just is what it is overall with these charts. Something to pay attention to just for anyone who may be getting caught up in this little hype cycle. Same thing for Bitcoin right here. When you start seeing this little massive green candle, when should you be buying, folks? On red candles. I know it's crazy to say. Red candles, you buy when others are fearful and you sell when others are greedy. That's the easy way of saying it. So when should you sell? When others are greedy. When you see this greed index start hitting fucking extreme greed, it might be time to take some profits. You know what I mean? Right now, it's just up in greed. When you see it up in extreme greed, it's only here for 5.66% of the time. It doesn't last long. And that's usually the top. That's usually when you see it on the chart and you're like, oh, that's what greed is. Oh, gotcha. And you see it doesn't last long. And then just all of a sudden it goes, whatcha, and then dumps. Anyways, hope that helps some people who are looking at the overall market right now and just checking it all out. Seeing how it all is, and seeing how it all is. Yeah, LFG for sure. But folks, it is Wednesday, my dudes. We're going to be signing off. I want to thank all of y'all as well for tuning in. If you've made it this far into the stream, stick around, leave a comment afterwards, subscribe to the channel if you've made it this far into the stream. Much love to every single y'all, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
It is Wednesday, my dude.
I want to take a minute and thank all of our Patreon members over on patreon.com. Also want to thank all the badge members for YouTube memberships and all of the subscribers.